Okay, so I want to get some backstory on you though. Shu, like,
Mhm.
how did you even start playing Yu-Gi-Oh? Like, where did you start playing Yu-Gi-Oh?
Oh, that was so long ago.
Yes,
I mean, you talk
even though
about
you're
Yu-Gi-Oh
pretty
in
young.
general, or you talk about Yu-Gi-Oh competitively?
So I actually want to know like Yu-Gi-Oh in general because for most people it's like, oh, I watched the anime and then
For me, it was just like it was like when I was lower school. One day, the boys in the class just brought some cards, and then it just started in the whole class, and I just got into it.
never
Just
stopped ever
be like
since.
a fan, be like a fan, be like a casual player.
Yeah, and then how old were you around that time?
Oh god, that was like what? That was like what was that? Second or third grade. So
Oh
what?
damn, you
I
were a
mean, back
kid.
then we just only like cards, throwing MST kind of gay, that kind of thing. So we're not
Yeah,
Yeah,
really playing. We're just having cards.
dude.
listen,
Cards are not even real cards.
Explaining to some, it always feels so bad after you learn that MST doesn't negate, and when you play
Mhm.
somebody and you act it and they try to MST you and you go, well, that doesn't work that way. Like
Yeah.
you play pot
Yeah.
of greed and they'll go MST, and you're like, well, that's not how that works.
Yeah. Why do we need solemn judgment when MST can just be gay, right?
I just hate that MST does actually negate. like,
Oh yeah,
like certain cards, it really just does negate the
it
card.
does
Like,
negate
you're like Tenki, MST.
MST.
It's just like, well, fuck, and negate it right there. And they're like, what? Well, you just told me it doesn't negate. Like, yeah,
Well,
but
you
no.
see,
So
now you got to
when did
talk
you?
about rulings.
Yeah, that's a whole rant in itself. And Shu and I are both judges. We both judge
Yeah,
Philly regionals all the
very true.
time.
We're actually
And
having one coming in May, I think.
I saw that. I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean,
I
right
can't
now
believe this is gonna happen though.
yeah, I was about to say that. It's still pretty early, so
Yeah.
maybe it will happen 5 months
I
from now,
wish it
4 months from
happened.
now.
I wish it happened.
Me too. I actually really, really want a Philly
Mhm.
regional again. Like I
Yeah.
think that would be awesome.
Mhm.
Just to have an in-person big event like we used to. I miss seeing everybody, even though there's this whole, virus going around. It would just still
Finally
be
get
really
to,
cool.
I finally get to yell at people reading their cards again.
Yes. Well, people have really not been reading their cards that they've been
Oh
home for
yeah.
2 years. There's going to be a lot of bad questions.
Mm.
Yup.
And in fact, every time I go to locals, even though I have not played so long, people still ask me. They're like, "Hey, Frazier, can you come over here and help me?" And I'm like, "Guys, seriously, like, come on. I don't even know what you're doing." They're like, "Oh, this is chain link 1, this is chain link 2." Then I have to read all the cards and try to make a decision on the spot, and that just never works out right. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to even judge the next Philly regional when they do have it. I might just be a spectator completely
Yeah.
now.
Fair.
Yeah, it's just gotten away from me. But when did you become competitive, Shu?
That was like, let me see. I mean, I came to this country around like late 11 for high school, and then that's about when I started going to locals. Because like my mom asked me what's my plan for the weekend after school. I was like, well, there's a Yu-Gi-Oh local, might as well take a look, right? I just started going every week. That's when I started local. When I actually started, let me see, competitively, um, I was like probably early 15, I think. It's like
Okay.
my mom asked me, do I want to go college visit? I was like, maybe. And I saw there's a YCS happening at the same city I want to go visit. So I was like, you know what? I can go college visit, but at the same time, I'm going to the YCS.
See, you already figuring out little crafty ways to get to the YCS.
Yep. So I got to the YCS. That was my first YCS. It was like Chicago early 15, I think. It was like was it Gear Gear? No, it was before Gear Gear. It was like Fire Water after Dragon Wars.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. 2014 was when
Wasn't that one the one Tom won? I think that was the one actually, right?
who won?
Tom?
Tom Mack won
Yeah,
with what was that called? Bujin?
possible. Oh, I know
He
that
it
was
was
probably
well, I think you're right. I think Tom won the YCS. I think he won with Bujin, but I think that there was draft maybe. So like technically not
uh
Bujin.
wait,
Like
but Bujin wasn't wait, was Bujin released? Bujin was released, yeah. So it's
yeah.
possible, yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, I know that I feel like that's what he won with. I
Yeah,
feel like he
I
won with
think
Bujin.
so. Yeah,
Yeah.
but then that was my first license. The second license was fairly license like 2 months after. So I just
Okay.
walked to the convention center.
Yes, must be nice.
And I got my giant hand from side event. That's what started
Uh oh.
the journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, once you get a taste of it, because yeah, you're really young. I keep forgetting that. Well,
Yeah.
probably not now, but back then, especially. Like, how old are you now?
25.
Okay, so yeah, that's still pretty young. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you won in 2019. That was the Sky Striker, right?
20 late 18.
Oh shit! So it's been
Yeah,
almost
I was
4,
like
almost 4 years.
21 only, like a
Okay.
few months away from 22.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe I won when I was 20. So around the
Yeah,
same. Yeah.
close enough.
Yep. Yeah, it feels good. You don't top for a while, and then when you top, you just you get a
Yeah.
W, and then it's nice. But then
Mhm.
that you didn't stop there. You went on and won a UDS too.
Mhm.
And what deck did you win with the UDS? Is it this Dragon Link
Dragon.
deck?
Yeah, dragon.
So did you innovate the Dragon Link deck? Like, are you one of the
Uh,
people that kind
I
of?
wasn't the one innovated. I was being like a part of a Chinese friends group, and the majority of them are in Euro. So I think at the same time was like I had a UDS and 3v3 YCS in America. They have I think YCS Uche or YCS Dusseldorf, either of those coming. So they were also figuring out the deck. I joined the group and they sent me the like kind of the skeleton,
Yes.
and I kind of modified it with like more TCG things into it. So I kind of adjusted the list into to fit the TCG format, and that's the result how I won the UDS.
Yeah, because I feel like your deck was really good for that event. You went undefeated,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's a sign of you probably have an advantage over the field.
yeah. I
Uh,
won. So I went to the regional the week before the UDS. It was like the Connecticut one, and I got X11, I think, and there was what 10s, 11s. But my loss was because one of them was early because I didn't respect Lightning Storm. It's a regional. I was like, no, not many people can have Lightning Storm. For everything, attack a double Lightning Storm per game.
Holy shit!
And then the other one was like because I didn't have plans for time. I was thinking I'm playing a combo that I should end it fast, right? Turns out I was grinding against another combo that surprisingly, and I end was just took a draw for time because I didn't have plan for it.
Yeah. So
And
then you
then
fixed those issues.
yeah, I fixed those issues, and then at the UDS, I put everything defense. I had Scarlight in my side specifically for time, and it won me, or I just won the tournament. We know how that ended.
Yeah. Damn. So that regional was like really important for you to figure out how to win the
Yeah.
event. Yeah, that's nice when it works out like that.
Mhm.
What's your favorite format that you've played in?
Favorite format? I mean, whenever I did well, it was always my
My
favorite
man.
format.
So you
My
like
man.
so you definitely like the Sky Striker at full power
uh,
formats then.
I would prefer the last Drytron format and also the Dragon format I played.
Yeah. What do you think about Dragon Link right now in the current TCG?
They just hit too many things at this point. The deck can now the deck used to be explosive. Now it play like Solomon Gray. It's two different
Ah,
decks.
I don't like that.
Yeah,
You could tell it has been nerfed. I hate that
yeah,
feeling.
yeah.
Yeah, because the good decks right now, I noticed this about the Invoke deck and the
Mhm,
Sword Soul deck and the
mhm.
like they have 3 of everything.
Yeah.
No matter what card you want to run, and either Source Soul or
Mhm,
Shadal Invoked, Dogmatica Invoked, you
mhm.
can literally run 3 of every single
Yeah.
card. None of your cards are limited, not a single card. So like
Mhm,
that by itself is just consistency. Whereas when you start playing stuff like Dragon Link, you have this card's limited to 1, this card's limited to 1.
Dragon is still good because there are still a lot of good cards as three. Like Safer's at three, Chaos is at three, Quick
Yeah.
Launch is at three. That's why the Dragon is still playable. But on the other hand, like especially current format, your opponent pro is called Dark. You just can't play it.
Yeah. What about Nibiru? Because doesn't that card hurt that
Uh,
deck a lot? Or
no, it's only hitting bad players and never hurting the deck.
okay, so
Yeah.
I must be seeing a lot of bad players at my local then. Yeah, I see Nibiru come down, and they're just like, well,
Oh,
I'm fucked. Yeah, it's funny. I was watching Hani play top 4 today at a room at YCS,
yeah.
and he got nibbed by the guy who ended up winning the whole thing. He got
Mhm.
Nibiru, and then he still won that game. Like
Oh yeah.
he got nibbed. He did some 10G stuff. He ended up making,
Mhm.
I think, a Baron, and
Yeah.
then
Right
he
there.
like he did some shit where he shuffled. He made Boxy, I think, too. It was turn
Yeah.
1, so he was able to box it turn 1, and Billy was like, "Oh shit, I forgot," because
Mhm.
he controls a card. He could box it turn 1 and all this other
Mhm.
stuff. But yeah, he ended up playing through nib, which was impressive because a lot of times, like the bad players, when they combo and they get nib, they just end on an aqua board.
Yeah, like Nibiru is really a card that only hitting bad plays and bad players, not really hitting decks. Because if in order for the deck that do well in the format, it kind of naturally has to have an answer to it.
Yeah,
But if the player isn't really capable of utilizing it, then well, it get punished by noob.
yeah, that makes sense. Actually, that makes a lot of sense because So in order to Nibiru somebody, they have to summon 5 times.
Yeah.
And a lot of people's 4th or 5th summon is going to be something that negates Nibiru.
Yeah,
If you
I've
play
used
it right.
Nibiru and actually killed a Sky Striker before, so it's really not depends on the deck anymore.
Oh no!
I just
What the
kept my
fuck?
nibs. I kept my nibs in, and then whenever Striker trying to kill me was like the Axis play, I just nib. Well, now you don't have a way to kill me.
Yeah, no, that probably sucks really bad for that deck.
Yeah, really.
How do you feel about Striker right now with Fusion Destiny being legal?
I'm more anticipating the new Sky Striker card that was just out in OCG last month.
The one the quick play spell card?
Yeah, that one.
That card is crazy. What does it say? Like, discard a card from your hand?
No, it says send another card from your field to graveyard.
That's what it is.
Special summon a Striker link to the extra dead zone.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah.
That makes, and I know that there's an OTK with it already.
Yeah, well, the OTK barely happens because it will never get to a point. But just having that card available in the deck, you can do a lot of different things.
Yeah, and you can also dodge because you can like use it to dodge stuff too, I guess.
Essentially, just 3 more monsters, like solving the Striker's issue of bricking.
Yep, that was always how the deck lost.
Yeah, but it doesn't overlap with all the monsters you have already.
Yeah, in a weird way.
Yeah,
like you're not actually adding to your monster count; you're actually adding to your spell count, which is better.
Yeah, like even before, like having 3 Ray, 3 Hornet Drone is a little bit excessive at some point. But having 3 of this new spell plus whatever, like 3 Ray, 1 or 2 Rose, and then 1 Hornet Drone isn't too much.
Yeah. I think Fusion Destiny made Sky Striker like actually legit. I talk a lot of shit about Sky Striker on Facebook because one, when the format started, like before DPE came out, it was just a really bad go second deck. Like that was what the deck. It was just it didn't do enough, and everybody was still playing it for some reason, which I thought was weird. Like a lot of people I saw playing it, and I was like, why are you guys playing this when you could just be playing Drytron or I think Tri Brigade was at full power, and those decks had 3 of all. They have 3 of all their cards. Hey guys, if you like this clip, we have full video versions of our podcast episodes available on the IMNerd Patreon, as well as exclusive content.
If you'd like to listen to our full podcast episodes or find us on any other social media platforms, you can do so by clicking the link tree below.